afternoon, Jets Nation. Welcome to the Jew Jet Show. This week we play the New England Patriots, so can the Jets get a win against New England? Find out in today's video. Starting on the offensive side of things, the Jets have to get the run game established in this game. The fact that we ran it 10 times with our 3 running backs last week made zero sense. There's too much talent in that backfield to only be running the ball 10 times. And the fact that Zach Wilson was our leader in carries and yards, and the fact that he had all of his carries and all of his yards on one drive last week should never happen again. The Jets have to realize Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, one of the best running back duos in this game, they need the football. We have a struggling passing offense with our backup quarterback in the game. You gotta turn to other sides to move the football. In week 1, we were one of the most successful running teams in the NFL. We had 170 yards to the ground, which I want to say was the 4th best in the NFL that week. The Jets need to get back on track to running the football. And so far this season, the Patriots have allowed an average of 121 yards on the ground this season, and an average of 4.4 yards a carry. Raheem Mostert went insane on the Patriots Sunday Night Football. So the Jets have to get back to the roots of this offense post Aaron Rodgers, which is running the football. If we can get the run game going this week, that's going to mean hopefully a lot more offensive success. We also have to make life easy for Zach Wilson. Number one way of doing that is, of course, by getting the run game established. But another thing is to keep Zach Wilson from playing conservative. And that's what we had Zach Wilson doing last week. And I don't think Zach Wilson's performance last Sunday was terrible at all. Yeah, he did throw 3 interceptions, but all 3 of those picks came in the 4th quarter when he was just trying to make a play, when he was making that hero ball, pushing the ball down the field. I mean, we've seen Zach Wilson play that hero ball, make those careless mistakes, leading by 10 points in the 2nd quarter with 12 minutes left to go. We've seen Zach Wilson make those stupid type of plays before with a lot of time left in the game. The fact that Sunday, yeah, he made those careless throws at the end of the game, but for the first 3 quarters, he played very conservative. He didn't really do a lot of crazy stuff. We didn't really let Zach Wilson put the game in his hands. None of that. We just saw Zach Wilson be a game-managed quarterback, and honestly think he was pretty solid at that. And speaking of not letting Zach Wilson have the game in his hands, the Jets should prevent that from happening this week. I believe in Zach Wilson. I believe he could be a nice game-manager quarterback for us, but I really don't know if he's the quarterback that, with the game in his hands, is going to be able to lead the New York Jets down the field and put up crazy points, make some crazy throws. I mean, yeah, he made some last week, but that's not something we should bank on Zach Wilson doing. The Jets shouldn't be in the position to make Zach Wilson make these crazy comebacks. And so we have to rely on the run game. And we also have to have the offensive line do their job. I mean, the performance last week was absolutely terrible. And this week we're going up against a pretty tough pass rush as well. Matthew Judon, Josh Uys, 2 players that had 10-plus sacks last season. The pressure is going to be coming in Zach Wilson's face. Pause. But this week, we're just going to have to step up the game. You know, I'm not saying we have to play perfect. I'm not saying we have to keep the Patriots from having 0 sacks, but we just have to give Zach Wilson time to throw. We have to let holes open up in the run game. You know, I'm expecting 3 sacks to happen this week. I'm expecting Matthew Judon, Josh Uys to get to Zach Wilson a few times. But we just need the offensive line to give him time. We need the offensive line to open up holes. The game really depends on the offensive line. I mean, yeah, we didn't run it a whole lot last week. A reason for that could have been because the Jets didn't trust the way the offensive line was blocking, because the run blocking was pretty terrible on the 10 rushing attempts we had. So the Jets can just get things going up front, then we can see everything else behind the offensive line hopefully get working. So those are 3 keys on offense this week. We got to get the run game established. We have to make life easy for Zach Wilson, and the offensive line has to do their job. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, the Patriots' pass game has kind of been cooking so far this season. Or has it? Mac Jones, through 2 games, has thrown for 547 yards. That's a very impressive number. But also, in those 2 games, Mac Jones has thrown the ball 54 and 42 times. And I want to say in those 2 games, he had 31 completions on the 42 attempt game and 35 completions on the 54 attempt game. So yeah, while he's throwing a lot of yards, he's also doing that on a high number of completions. Reminds me a lot of Joe Flacco in the first 3 games of last year, where Joe Flacco was like 5th in the NFL in passing yards, but also was leading the NFL in completions by a wide margin. I mean, yeah, you can throw for a lot of yards, but if you're doing it on 35 completions, that's not exactly super impressive. So, yes, I do think the Jets are going to be able to stop this Patriots passing attack while it has seen some success this season. Another thing they do a lot, though, is dink and dunk plays. You're going to see Rhamondre Stevenson run a lot of, flat routes. You're going to see Kendrick Bourne running a lot of digs over the middle. And the Jets struggled at stopping those short intermediate plays last week against the Cowboys. A big reason to why they had so much offensive success. So as long as the Jets can contain those dink and dunk plays, then we should be good from the passing defense side of things. And as for the Patriots running offense, I mean, the run game is off to a slow start so far this year. The leading rusher is Rhamondre Stevenson, who has 27 carries for 75 yards and is averaging 2.8 yards a carry. Patriots are also averaging 82 yards a game, which is one of the lower ranks in the NFL. Want to say it's bottom 5, and if it's not bottom 5, it's definitely bottom 10. And so far this year, the Jets have done a nice job at stopping the run. Week 1 against the Bills, they didn't get much going on the ground. And yeah, the Cowboys did rush for 134 yards last week, but it's the same thing as Mac Jones throwing for 547 yards. It's the Cowboys ran the ball a crazy amount of times, so yeah, they put up a lot of yards. So it's a lot of yards on a high number of carries, which, while it stands out on the box sheet, the Jets overall did a nice job of stopping the Cowboys on the ground last week. The Patriots haven't been running the ball at all to start the season. I mean, they haven't been doing it, but if they decide to pick up the run game, I do believe the Jets are going to be able to do a nice job at stopping them. The Jets also have to get to the quarterback this week. We only had 1 sack last week, although the pass rush was getting to Dak Prescott. He was just able to throw the ball out so quick because everyone in the dink and dunk plays was open 24/7. So the Jets can contain those dink and dunk plays. We should be able to get to Mac Jones. The Patriots also have a banged up offensive line, and the Jets defensive line needs to capitalize on that. But as for whether or not the New York Jets can win this football game, it's definitely been something I've been tossing up. It's like, I really don't know if the Jets are going to be able to pull off this win. I mean, while everything I'm saying in this video sounds like it's a Jets win guaranteed, this is the Patriots team that plays really well against the Jets. A Patriots team that has won their last 14 games against the Jets. We haven't beat the Patriots since 2015. Bill Belichick knows how to win against the New York Jets. Better yet, he knows how to make Zach Wilson's life hell. And that's one thing that's been scaring me. The Patriots have a tough secondary. Zach Wilson, while he kept it conservative last week, Patriots are going to give him some looks that maybe Zach Wilson thinks, oh, I'm going to have a touchdown open here. Or, oh, I'm going to be able to throw this wide open receiver. Next thing you know, he's throwing picks. He's making stupid plays. Patriots have a good job of getting into his head. And maybe the Patriots don't get in his head this week. I don't know what's going to happen. But I just have a feeling that we're not going to see the best performance from Zach Wilson. The defense is going to allow a couple chunk plays to happen that maybe shouldn't have. I do believe it's going to be low scoring, and I do believe there's going to be a lot of field goals kicked. So I'm predicting a 18-13 win for the New England Patriots. And I hate myself for this, but it's just what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. I do think the Patriots are able to win this game. But let me guys know what you think down below. And I'm your host, Jay, signing off for now. See you guys later. Peace.